something very special. Not Frank, the game. This is something you're not going to see again. Do you not agree with that, Frank?
No, I disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah.
Why is that, young man?
Why wouldn't you see this again?
A cabinet this beautiful. This
is the exact one very soon.
This is the most beautiful hard driving in the world.
Numbers matching.
We've got 9 seconds left. Then we're going to talk about this game and why it's so beautiful. Yes, first game with three-dimensional graphics. Frank, you're done.
Haha, sorry.
He's off.
This is the absolute coolest driving game.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but Mark's not getting it. It's going to my house.
This is going to Mark in Canada.
No, it isn't.
Wait until you hear about this game. There was a patent. You see how the dashboard is moving as he turns? Do you see how you can see the side of the dashboard and everything? That was actually one of the 3 patents this game had, Frank. Just amazing stuff. And lots of secrets in this.
Kirk got
Frank,
one
that
up
looks
on
like
me.
you up there, young man.
Yep, Kirk got
Oh,
me
sorry,
one.
Frank. I see. See, I asked the boys to play it. To figure it out. You see.
I haven't played it in 30 years.
Well, you see, the difference with this game is I never bought one new because the price was so high. Now, I get conflicting reports on price. I was told the original full-size version. Here, Frank, let me hand this over to you. Good man. The original version was $79.99. Hey, Walt, could you unplug that game, young man? Oh, you're over there. The Blitz. You're actually going to see that later. You're going to see that later in this video.
Should have seen it. We filmed it already.
Actually, we're filming this way out of order, just like regular movies. This is the last thing we're filming.
Except regular movies, people
It's the
actually
first
get
thing
paid.
you're seeing. Here's the story. 1988-89, Atari came out with this amazing game. Now, I'm getting conflicting reports. According to Wikipedia, they made 3,318 of these. Not this compact version, but total hard drivings. But I looked at other accounts, and there weren't as many. So, see how it's turning on its own?
Watch, because it's like it's driving.
Isn't that sharp? It's just amazing. This is called the compact. Compact, like me.
Compared to an aircraft carrier, I guess you're pretty tightly compact.
An aircraft carrier. Frank, I thought you were going to say the Goodyear blimp. You know.
Yeah, but they're not. You can't get enough of a ratio idea.
Walt, do you hear the insults? Walt, do you see the beauty of this cabinet?
No,
Here
Walt
is the
sees
story.
the pinball machine. He doesn't see
I am
this.
going to tell you the story. It's actually rather sad. We got a call from a man, Frank, is it 10, how long ago? 10 years ago? 15 years ago? About the hard driving. Guy said he had a hard driving in his garage, and I assumed it was the big clunky one, and it was all beat up and all this. He says, we just want to sell it. So we went over to his house, and it turned out to be a compact. Look how little this thing is, Frank.
You say that all the time.
1, 2,
You say that to all the women.
It's 3.5 foot long, and it's 2 foot wide. A tiny little thing. It was covered up with a sheet in his garage. Atari, apparently, we think it was Atari, because that's what the paperwork inside, sent it to the man free of charge as a children's wish. This was his little son's wish, to get this machine and to play it. And the man didn't really detail it, but he said the little boy played it 3 or 4 months. And it was covered up after that and stayed in his garage since. And everything is like new. The manual, still untouched by human hands. Still untouched.
And you're not human, so.
But their standard resolution, although that looks high resolution to me, but apparently it's not. This is the power supply. I'm going to explain that to you. Mark's getting all of this inside.
Show the power supply again. I was showing the label that's still in there.
Yes, I was just going to say.
No, show the power supply again.
Oh, okay. Well, the
We
power
saved it because all
supply.
the numbers match.
Yeah, 1043.
So he has it.
You're going to see that. Actually, I showed that in an earlier video when we first got the machine in. But the meter has 304 plays on it. It was no longer in free play because the battery had gone dead. This has not one but two electronic batteries, data centuries, and that had gone dead after so many years.
Is that electronic instead of mechanical batteries? Is that what you were referring to? Those electronic? Those
miserable.
pesky electronic batteries. Kurt, you hear about this new technological innovation? Electronic batteries? Yeah, never heard of such a thing.
What's this, a poster?
Yeah, you got one up on me.
Guide to coin-operated video games. Suitable for all. Hey, look at this, Frank.
Well, it must have been in there.
AOA. Uh-oh, there's a game out there that's called Language Strong. Contains strong four-letter.
TODD. There's a four-letter
Is
word for you.
my video.
There's a four-letter curse word.
Here, let me show you.
First of the children.
Look at that.
Todd.
Look, isn't that neat? It's quiet.
Unlike
The
you.
little electric motor spins that. Look at the size of that spring. There's two speakers here, your stereo speaker sound, and then I think there's a floor firing one too. Now what we did, look at this logic board set. The 68,000 processor here on the top. There's probably other processors. We took the boards apart to change the batteries because there's two plug-in batteries. You can still buy them to restore our
From Atari service.
Ataris. They're not answering. Let's look over
That's
some
because
other
I see
things.
what you're calling.
We took all the boards out and we did reheat silver solder on all the connectors, even though the game hasn't been moved around a lot. We wanted to make sure it was all done. Did the same here for the amplifier. Look at these hefty heat sinks for the stereo channels. That's a big in there. That runs the motor. This is the motor control board. Okay, and there are. Let me see what else. Well, there's not much else in here. This is where the mirror is to reflect the television set, which is up there. Wells Garner, 7,000. Yes, it's up there. Fluorescent ballast to run that bulb on the top. Look at how clean everything is. And look, the 1043. So I'm going to assume this was the 1043rd machine made. Now, we did put a new power supply in, but we kept the old power supply, as you can see from Mark, so we can keep it with the game. But we thought the machine deserved a nice new power tech. Great power supply from competitive products. 1 in 100 have failed out of the box.
That's way too many.
And after that, I'd say maybe one every 500 games down the road after the initial warranty period. They never go bad. They're so good. Now, this is the original T-molding, the gray T-molding. We're going to give it a last bath before it goes out because these boys have put their big fat feet on the pedals. I want to show you this, though. It has the Atari emblem on it. This is similar to the Sprint. This is like the Sprint 4-way, this terrific gear shift that Sprint 2 had. And of course your keys start instead of a start button after you put your coins in. We have it on free play, turn key to begin. Now even in the relax mode, the steering wheel, the relax mode,
Attract mode.
the wheel has power on it. Very nice. And do you think that seat's big enough to... Oh, it is big enough to support me because you had your big rear on
My
it.
big what on it?
You didn't, like, pan down, did you? I have my cheat sheet. 3D polygon graphics. this used stunt loops. First game to have stunt loops rather than like a pole position driving game. But you see, unlike other driving games, if you don't shift correctly or use your clutch correctly, you'll stall the family car. And bang, you're off. You can also drive it off the road.
No, the
Now-
replay of the explosions is the best part.
Yes, there's an instant replay, and you can bypass it, but it's kind of nice because it helps you figure out what you did wrong,
Those are just amusing to watch.
so you can figure it out. Here's some trivia for what was the first video game to have instant replay? An Atari game. Also, the first game to have a 68,000 processor. Amazing food fight. Yes. Instant replay and that 68,000, that big fat chip. It's 6,800 was the earlier.
I have the
People
camera.
avoid-
I can point it anywhere I want.
No, you have to keep the camera on interesting things, like Walt.
That medical miracles are interesting enough.
Oh, let me look at my cheat sheet and see what else. Oh, they made 11 cockpit ones. I'm sure you've seen it. That's where the seat swings out and you get in it. And they made 4 compact models in a British, American, of course, German, and Japanese version. The British ones, you're driving on the, as they say, the right side of the road, but we say the wrong side of the road. But when you're in England, it's the right side of the road. Isn't that clever? God, Atari were so clever. And the boys have now appreciated, because now that they've seen this game and have been fumbling around with it. Where's Dumbbell? Kurt. Kurt! Can you find Kurt? I want him to come in here and drive this. Walt, please. Because I can't drive it. I stole it.
Oh, it's sat in your basement for 20 years. You don't know how to play it?
No, the girls played it. I didn't. This was in my basement. Oh, I almost forgot. That's my mini number. We're still keeping track because I have almost 100 cabarets I'm selling. And we're already
Had, you
to
mean.
this number. Who could be calling at this hour? Oh, good, somebody got it. I'll bet it's the wife. I whispered that. Ah!
Get out of the way, fatty.
Fatty!
Shane, driver's thing.
Kurt's look how thin he is. My Kurt. It's because he's in love.
Shut up, don't be so stupid.
Oh,
Don't be stupid all your life, stupid.
look, we got it started.
Did you see the high score? Who's got the high score?
Yeah, well, I haven't played it in 25 years, old man. We play it every week when we're in Todd's basement doing things we won't mention on the video.
Alright, Cellas.
Not at all.
That driver board's not working in the timeline.
In the what game?
Timeline.
Oh.
Remember the game wasn't starting.
What's that got to do with our movie? That's another
You gotta
video.
leave the replay in there, stupid.
Stupid.
You wanna see the crash?
That's the whole
filming
point.
this.
Let's see the crash.
Okay.
When you crash, you gotta see the
They
replay.
don't want to know about games we're working on. Here we go. Oh! All right, now look.
The elaborate explosions.
Nice.
He caught on fire.
It's like when Todd drives for real.
It's when Todd drives for real.
When he goes to Wendy's.
Get those
Or
baconator.
Baconator.
We all said it at the same time. Tomato rice soup tonight, folks.
Have fun.
You need it.
Can you go over that bridge
You
okay?
got 60 miles an hour.
Now, you've got to, everybody watching now, is this not the most impressive driving game you've ever seen? Now, put yourself back in 1989.
Johnny went to Wawa. That was Johnny going to Wawa in the truck. Done really bad here.
Do you understand all this is accomplished without a hard drive? Everything is on one of those chips downloading in and out.
Drive in.
No, there's no hard drive in.
All right, stop talking. We're watching the video.
Now, Kurt, you made a mention about the signs that you're passing.
You gotta follow the speed limits, otherwise you'll crash.
Follow follow speed limits if you didn't hear Kurt since he's not taking his eyeball off the wheel. Did you hear the sound when he went on the shoulder?
No, we're all deaf. Can you describe the sound?
It's the worst I've ever drove.
Kurt, you got 8 seconds. The
Not
boys
gonna
want to
make
know
it.
what's going to happen.
Here comes the train.
Can you get under there?
Smash into it.
That was the worst ever. They were supposed to be impressed with it. Now look at this. Now listen, I wanted you to try something. I looked it up. There's a cheat. Yes. It said when you first try, you have to steer hard left, and you'll go on a straight course to a tower you have to circle.
You don't know anything about that, do you?
Everything about it.
Hard left, what?
Hard left. Well, you have to start the car. You know, when you start the car,
Now what? Hard left?
turn hard left and step on the gas.
There
There it is.
Yes. You did it.
Now you're going to get to a tower where you have to circle.
There's the tower.
I found that on Wikipedia.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
I think it was that.
Dip, hey, there's Todd's there.
Okay, there you are, Kurt. Now let's see how good you are on this.
Not very good.
I told you it's a tower. You circle it, young man. Wrong way.
Circling it.
Yeah, but it says you're going the wrong way.
It's a circle. I mean,
Well, go the other way then. Turn. No. Attaboy. That's better.
it's great.
Now, Kurt is doing the easy way. Isn't there can't you shift too?
No, I'm on automatic.
Oh, he's on automatic. They want to see shift.
Well, didn't say anything about that. That was dumb. That was a waste of time.
No! Well, I guess it doesn't want you to.
It's dumb.
Hey, look. Did any of you learn something?
Never to go that way again.
Yeah, but it still says you're going the wrong way.
I am going the wrong way. Let's get back on the track. Oh,
No, the track was the other way. Oh,
what else you got? What other tips do you
well,
got?
that was
Hard
the one
right.
I found so far.
They'll take you to the soup. There's tomato rice
Oh,
soup.
he's off-road. Uh-oh, the arrow says not happy with you.
Let me get back on this road.
I don't think you can.
The time ran out.
Clunk. Boink.
It's a great game. Fun.
Isn't that neat? That's really neat. And Mark, there's a surprise too. Inside my Craftsman wet and dry box, it's from my house because I had these there. We ended up junking an upright hard drive in because we needed the monitor. Oh no, it's a cockpit because it had a high-res monitor, medium res, and the cabinet was all beat up. So I have working boards for Mark from Canada. I just got the greatest email of all. Somebody said whenever he hears the word Canada anywhere, he can hear in the background. We're going to Disney at the end of the week, so we're eating steak dinner at Canada. So I'll make sure I do an Instagram when we go there. Anyway, we're going to pack these boards. That's the steering one. That's the motor board. That's the amplifier. And the logic board. They're all going to go in the back of the Tempest. And so, Mark, you're going to have a whole bunch of spare boards. I doubt they'll ever go bad, but you know, a set of working boards has got to be a good thing to have, just in case. Well, I guess we've covered everything. Oh, we did put new big feet casters. This game doesn't take these little ones; it takes these big giant ones. So we put them on this already, I think earlier. And oh, and we found out we can't put it on wheels. You see, because of its size, it's top heavy. The wheels, it was just not a good thing. So sitting flat, and it's 500 pounds, I think. This thing is a ton.
It's always half of what you weigh.
Half of what you weigh.
Stop being a douche.
Anyway, folks, we are now going to continue with a Donkey Kong that's going overseas that we filmed a few days ago. Let's go. Frank, look what's going to Denmark. Denmark. Wait a minute, let me plug this so you can see. This beautiful, gorgeous Donkey Kong. It's got the most perfect picture in the world. The only thing left we have to
Richie
do
be proud?
is Richie would be. He doesn't like it when I change power supplies. But this is a real Donkey Kong that we have rebuilt, repainted, new T-molding. We are putting on a free play button in where the lock is. New fluorescent light, new artwork. It's beautiful. The Sanyo television set has been recapped. The amplifier has been recapped. I've mentioned this before. These two connectors are identical. If they get plugged in wrong, you will blow up forever that board. Be very careful. So if you take that board out to reheat it or recap it, you make sure you've marked left and right, or you were in for some fireworks. We had to take the logic board out and clean all the chips, the ROMs. They were really dirty. Picture's perfect now. Now, new power supply. We have a power supply in there. You can't use a screw terminal one. Now, I'm going to tell you why. Chris seemed to feel that there was some kind of a voltage issue with the amperage. It couldn't provide enough voltage, especially for the sound. And when the game was playing music, the picture would move when the boom,
And this causes
boom,
some
boom,
graphics
boom,
glitches too.
right. And so we have now changed our minds. We've put in a 20-pin standard power supply used in most computers that has a fan in it for coolness to run the game. Yes.
What's that other box in there for?
That other box, I was going to point that out next. I was just going to finish with that, Frank.
What's the other box?
No, I'm going
What's
to
in
finish
the
with
box?
that. The gold power supply is perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with you rebuilding that and doing around with that. Go right ahead. But we prefer putting this in. So that's what
We
we'll
or
do.
you?
I tell my people to do it because this is my business and I do what I want. That stupid Richie puts in the gold. Oh, Richie.
Say it to his face, tough guy.
Did you see 1181 where we go to see Richie's
That
place?
was 1179.
No, it was 1181.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, all the videos we have up, 1181 episodes, and this is 82. We got a lot of videos up there. Hundreds of hours of joy. And I'm in every one.
Not everyone.
Creep. You better not film anything while I'm away.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Disney World for a week. It's
Not
coming.
long enough.
Ah! All right, listen. Now that we'll get down, that's our Denmark power converter. You see, in Denmark, the power is between 220 and 240 volts. The game comes from America, and it was set up for 110 volts. As a matter of fact, believe
Comes
it or
from
not,
America? Made in Japan.
yes, but it came to America. And see, it's set up for 120 volts. Believe it or not, the Sanyo monitor runs on 100 volts.
Can't believe
So
it.
here's what happens.
Are
The
you sure
power
about that?
comes in.
What about the light?
The light, the fluorescent light's 100 volts.
Wow.
Power comes in 120 volts. That transformer changes everything down to 100 volts to run this and the Donkey Kong power supply. Okay? And the fluorescent light. So, if you take that power supply out and you don't use the same monitor, your light fixture is going to run too bright because it's a 100-volt fixture. It's going to be running at 120 volts. And the fluorescent light will be running like this. You didn't have to get that close.
But this close?
Then, we're changing the voltage to 220 here with that thing. So, this is our 220 volt.
What is all this mess?
Well, that box plugs into 110 volts here. It changes it to 220, it comes out that socket, goes in here. That changes it back to 120 or 110. It'd be it's half the voltage, and now the game is running. Well, that's what you have to do. You know, people charge for that. There's some creep.
How dare
All
they?
these people, they say, oh, if you want the power converted, it's another $200. Creeps. We don't charge anything when we ship these overseas. Plus, I can ship this to any place, well, not any place, almost any port in the world for $600, right to the seaport. Now you will have to pay country tax. I don't know what that is, and there'll be like a value-added tax. Some people call it a VAT tax, and you'll have port tax of some sort. I don't know what they are. I have no idea. And I'm told though, in some countries, it's pretty high. So be prepared. I can get it to you, insured for $600, but you got to get it off that dock and into your truck. You're going to have to pay the taxes. Kurt, that Miss Pac-Man better be ready. Okay, meet me back. Let's go back. Oh, wait a minute. Before we do that, let me just play a game. I've loaded the program by touching one of these buttons. By the way, these are the original. I want to show you something. These are the buttons that Richie loves. It's the ball button. These are all ball switches. This is how the game was made.
Roller switches?
The roller switches. They're wonderful switches, and this is how Donkey Kong should be. The original metal joystick we took all apart, cleaned, lubricated. It is ready to play forever. I paid some imbecile to do it.
That's still somebody else did it. We didn't do shit.
All right, I'm going to go back and get the Miss Pac-Man ready.
Good riddance.
Will you follow me back shortly?
All right, see you in an hour.
Sucks at that game anyway.
Frank, do you know how many Miss Pac-Mans we have sold?
900?
No, well, no, I wish no. Not that many, but over 550, I think. That's a lot of Miss Pac-Man. Now, this one is we only sell original cabinet Miss Pac-Mans, but the artwork was so bad that what we did is we sanded it down, bonded all the spaces so it would be nice and smooth, and then painted it with a high gloss black. We use this terrific paint you can buy from Ace. It's like $35 a can, $36. High gloss enamel, black. It's right on the shelf. We go through boatloads of this stuff. Probably a good gallon or two a week. A lot of paint. And we also support our local hardware store. Now, the only other paint that's good is bare black paint, high gloss enamel, also latex from Home Depot. The problem is you have to wait for them to mix the crap. It's not on the shelf. Lowe's had a black paint we liked, and then they switched manufacturers, and their black paint is horrible. It does not roll on. This stuff's great. So our customer, it's a repeat customer. See, new control panel overlay. Beautiful marquee on this. Obviously fluorescent light. We touched up the monitor bezel a little. New buttons here. And then back here, we have the...
Here.
Kurt, you know, I'm trying... People, they don't want to wait. They want to see you film. They don't want delays. The one man was furious. He said he doesn't expect delays. Frank, you did this yourself.
Mm-hmm. All by myself.
You took the panel out, the original panel. Look how clean that is. New fuse blocks, obviously. You have to change the fuse blocks. That's the wink link. The wink link. In all Miss Pac-Mans. The logic board and daughter board have been thoroughly serviced by Frank. Crystal clean, new capacitors. He also took all the sockets. Who dropped that? Did you drop that on my head, Jonathan?
Yeah, Jonathan did it from Vegas.
You did. We don't need it. Jonathan's in Vegas. Creep.
You don't need it?
I mean, Jonathan, I hope you won.
He did. He isn't coming back.
No, if he wins, he promised to buy me out. Listen, if you want to buy me out, $2 million, I'll do it.
$2 million. I want my 150, 1.5 million change.
Look, I'll tell you what. You buy me out,
I got $1 or two.
$1.5 million, and I'll stay and work for you for free for a whole year.
Nice.
Oh, new grommet, by the way. Arcade shops. The new Miss Pac-Man grommet absolutely has to be changed. I'm pissed because this stupid old grommet only lasted 30 lousy 5 years.
30 lousy 5 years?
Look at this beauty. This is a combo we made. NBA, NFL Blitz, NBA Showtime combo. We have Blitz artwork, brand new artwork on one side, and we have NBA artwork on the other side. Now look. inside our control panel. These are the solid state joysticks. We've taken them apart and cleaned them and reheated. Our interconnect board has been reheated, courtesy of Frank. Right, Frank? And right here in the back, Frank has taken all these boards out and thoroughly serviced these. See all these here? All these have been reflowed with solder. And look, no hard drive to go bad. And that is the card, the flash card that replaces the hard drive. The 3 fans have been cleaned. The processor runs very hot. This is the processor right here, this big one. It's actually cool. It's very cool. It's got 3 fans on it. Look, our Wells Gardner monitor, new flyback, all new capacitors. This is the U2000, right? You can buy new flybacks for all the Wells Gardner monitors. Best monitor ever made. And as a special extra surprise, I'm going to send 2 new old stock stickers, the Showtime and the Blitz, and they are going to go inside this tube. See, we put 1 of each on each side, so we had an extra set. So we're going to put this in here, and our customer can put it on the wall, wherever he wants to put it. But we're going to ship that inside the game. Now, Kurt, how are you doing? He's doing great, isn't he?
Yeah. It's less guy, less girl, but
You don't know the difference, do you?
Here because, Frank, I want to show everybody this overhaul on the Defender. I love calling it the Defender because that's how they did it in that Atari commercial. You're going to play the Atari commercial. Here's part of the Atari commercial.
The Defender sees lots of alien ships. The Defender sees lots of radar blips. Every blip is a ship.
Watch this, I got this guy.
On a body snatching trip. And it's up to Defender to save them. Defender, a great Atari game.
Have you played Defender? It's the newest of the smash hit home video games that just keep coming. Only from Atari.
You did better than me.
Have you played Atari today?
And it's up to the Defender to save them. A great Atari game. Yes. Atari. Anyway, let me show you some things about this game that you should know. Classic arcades. Jeff makes this sticker now. Boy, does it make it look nice. That refreshes it, makes it look very nice. These are the original control panels. The customer, apparently, they put this button and credits on it. I guess they didn't realize the game had a free play option, but we left that in there. But I left these loose so you could see the construction of these. See, control panel, there's the serial number. We've lit it with LED lighting, okay? I wanted you to see the joystick. This uses a completely different joystick system than the other version did. The, what was that? The Cabaret uses this too. The upright has a complete metal bracket. This actually is inside the wood. Can you see how it's inside there? So it's a whole different system. So obviously if you need to replace this, you're going to have to do some digging to get into there. Get that in right. So that's rather easy to get to by simply removing these 2 screws. The panel pops out. We had to change the metal fittings in here. One usually always breaks. There's always one that breaks. Oh, we got our LEDs a little loose. Yeah, we have this apart so you could see it basically. 13-inch. This is the the 4600 Wells Gardner 4600. Not many 13 inches of these were made. Gorgeous picture. This is the scanning line. See that right there? That is the game program. Great game programming. That can actually be adjusted out of the picture. I left that in there so you could see it. But that's critical. People say there's something wrong with it. There actually isn't. If I make the picture a hair bigger, like that, scanning line is gone. So, if your game has a scanning line, you can easily See? You can easily turn it out so it's just outside of the picture area. It shouldn't hurt the bottom. If it does, and your information on the bottom goes off the screen, a piece of electrical tape to cover the scanning line if it's driving you nuts is all it's needed. Look at this, easy service, latches. Kirk, could you unplug that? I mean, do you understand we're trying to talk here? Oh. I don't think Kirk's there, do you? And here I thought he was playing the game. Oh, you are playing it, you creep! I almost called him a crap. That's the end of that, isn't it? That's the end of that. That is the end of that.
That's the best game ever.
Here's the end of your video.
No, we're... You know, we're not done yet. People are having strokes. They want to see this. Now look in here. This is the logic board of the game, and we're trying out this chip that supposedly will hold all the high scores in lieu of the battery board over here. So we thought we'd experiment and try it. The ROM board's been reheated and cleaned. We also changed the connector. Notice this power connector's new, and this power connector's new. Those are critical. Our power supply is the standard 9-pin heavy-duty power supply with fan, and that has the adjustable 5 volts on it. And see, it's all connected, so our customer down the road can easily change out the power supply. We started using them, Frank, about 10 years ago, and I just had a customer in California have one of those big silver power supplies take a dump. And he was so thrilled that he could buy a new one, put it in seconds, and boom, he was fixed. You don't have to rely on the old one. I realize some people just love that old power supply, but it's not going to happen. Here's the soundboard. Frank just recapped it. All new capacitors. You put one. We had to change this connector to the volume control. My melon.
Big melon that's in the way.
Look, this connector's the connector on the board is new, so we had to change that and repin it. Okay. So we had to do that. Sometimes you have to do a little extra on the game.
Sometimes you just have to do a little extra.
Well, yes, this customer sent this. He brought this to us.
About a year ago?
No, it was about 2 or 3 months ago. But I don't remember now. We just sold a Defender. So anyway, we're going to get this finished to button it up. I just wanted to make this video so he could see how nice it came out. Then this panel swings up. We have it on a dolly to move around. The bottom was all rotted out. Wallace had to put new leg levelers on the bottom. It's all shot. But boy, it came up nice. The original wood grain is in great shape. Stephen only had to do the littlest bit of touch up on it. And then we did have the top glass was completely foobarred. It was so scratchy. So it's a new piece of plexi, and then of course we painted it so we could put the original instruction cards back in. It looks nice, and I love the way the control panel lights. Don't you love it? Look.
I love it.
Mark from Canada. We have to wipe this puppy down. This is just about ready. We didn't put the locks on it yet, but this is going to be his. This is going out with hard driving. Did you like that game? That's pretty nice, isn't it?
Definitely
It's
the coolest
off
drawing
now
game.
because we're filming this out of order. Oh, here it is, a day later. We forgot to film the most important part about hard driving right here. Frank, we have to show them how the gear shift operates. And they need an expert. That's you, Frank.
Oh,
No, Frank, please. Here, let me film. Frank is going to show you the neatest thing of this game, and we completely skipped it. Once he starts the car. Now look in the corner. Do you see the stick shift? He's in first gear. So you can play either stick or automatic.
Margo seems to go faster and stick too.
And he has to. the clutch down at the bottom. He has to use it just right. Frank knows how to feather that clutch pedal, don't you, Franklin?
Yeah. Over here by that line.
He's moving along. What was that, young man?
He really knows how to drive stick.
Of course they do. Everyone knows how. Steve, we should turn this on so people can see.
So that I'm blind while I'm...
Yes, it is blind.
Working on
it. Let's go back. Frank, look at that.
This is the coolest driving game. Cruising Exotic comes in second.
Well, I think it was hard. And I
Crash.
oh no. Poor Frank.
Insto explosion.
Frank. Now he's back in first. He has to start the car again.
And you have to release the clutch to install the engine.
Isn't that sharp?
Don't cut yourself.
Will he make it? 12 seconds left, Frank. Oh yeah, he'll easily make the checkpoint.
It's not going to add enough time.
And I love the way the steering panel moves with the car. You can see the outside frame of the car. They were really thinking on this. Frank, I wonder if I could climb to the top of one of those mountains.
Now you'd be out of breath before you even got to the mountain, which is the top of it.
Uh-oh, the fuel light on your dashboard's flashing, Franklin. Frank, you might make it. Now you're going to take the stunt track? You have to turn now if you're going to. Oh, no, he's not.
Too fast.
Isn't that terrific? Now you can experience the beauty and wonder of hard driving one day. But you'll never find one as nice as this. Never. And the same is true with this, the games. This is also going to mark in Canada. But that's next week's purchase.
How many hard drive-ins have we sold? Just one?
Three? Well, we jumped one or two. Maybe the third one. This is the first compact one. Well, this is a nice long video. And we're going to Pizza Slut tonight.